The best things in life are for free. I greet this day in the holy name of Shiva. I'm grateful that I made it all in one piece. And because I've made it in one piece, I shall forever dedicate myself on priming my focus, especially for what I want, with the sun in my face, with the smile on my face. It takes more muscles to frown than to smile. And we don't understand how often possible it is for us to relinquish our own prize because of other entities that can have an impact into ourselves. So it's always important for a person to refine, especially how they see their own life. Take some time off to unwind and rid yourself of all the responsibility and the expectation that the outside world wants from you. You can, as a person, involve yourself too much and you forget, but there's time for you to unwind. In this time where everyone is fighting for everyone's attention, I think you should pay careful attention to who you are, who you're surrounding yourself. Who are you becoming because of the people that you're around? There are many opinions that you think matter, but up until you really dissect and see what those opinions really mean to you, I don't think you'll be paying any attention. So as a man who is on a journey of self-discovery, even those that I seem like I don't take notice of, I do. Because energy never lies. Energy will never lie in any kind of way. So we should be very, very honored and grateful that we can detect the things that are no longer good for us. How often can we put ourselves in that position to say, Yabona le, I'm no longer giving it any attention and any experience of myself because I am disindao as a person. We start questioning the things that are no longer serving us. And the number one emphasis is eye on your own prize. Ufuna for yourself. What would you like this life that the Lord gave you? Where would you like it to go? And you are the true determiner of this entire thing. So please, as a person, don't relinquish that power to anything of the outside. Because when we are looking for external validation, we will no longer find instant internal gratification. Yet again. Oh, I'm so excited, man. The new season of Motivational Maniac, man, is just taking off where we left off. I'm so grateful, man. The smile on my face says a lot. I've been privileged enough to be in this position. The amount of jubilance that I get to experience every time I put something out, it's so addictive, man. It's about you availing yourself to how strong and also how capable you've quite been. You can even be in a position where you tend to forget how important your gift is. So if Nyane, I'm not bringing me to the, then I'm always going to be depriving you of experiencing the real me. And living a facade is very, very hard, man. I've been through that, trying to be someone else so that I can get people to like me. But in the end of the day, I am compromising who I am in bid of someone else accepting the person who I am not. And I can only learn to be comfortable with myself because I've realized you have to embrace your flaws as a person. I think that is also a pathway to us loving ourselves more, being attentive and also making sure that we avail ourselves to things that will grow us. And the power of surrendering to everything, especially in love, I've seen it grows you as a person. You have a different relationship even towards your own emotion because you understand Guti. Life is a learning process. Nothing is set in stone. And that even where you are is a result of ogu that has taken you here. And I had to give myself opportunity to ask Guti, will I be happy with the decisions that I'm making as a person now? Will I be happy? Would I have given that person the experience that I am? Because whatever you do in private, it's always going to come up in public. So I've seen many parts of myself which I had hanged on too much with. Get crumbled because now I started to be in vicinities where I had to be my real self. So it's like the old me no longer served me, so I had to embrace the new me. And sometimes when we hang on to things that don't work, we are also blocking off things that will work because we are still hung on to them and the expectations that we still have about them. That was one of the most, I don't think that was easy for me. It's like that fire, man, you have to go through, because once you go through that fire, you will get reformed. You'll never come back the same way. And just because you know better, it means that it's a must that you must do better. So I think with everything that I do now, I want to bring consciousness to everyone and also to myself, and place emphasis that wherever you are, unamandla. It's just that you are not focusing on how much strength that you possess as a person. Because the only way you can irrigate zonke ezinto that are in your way is only if you believe in yourself. Self-confidence has been one of the most important things ever that I had to turn myself to. Because I understand it's about the self. I don't get to deliver from my gift if I don't harness it, if I don't pay attention to it, if I don't entertain anything that is going to grow it. So to Motivational Maniac Podcast, I just wanted to be a platform that's going to allow us young people to vent, to allow us as young people to take responsibility for what we want, man. There's already misery that is out there. And now I've dedicated myself, most importantly, to spreading positivity as much as I can. I just want to make wisdom go viral. I just want to make positivity go viral. And that's possible. That's really possible. And I just want to die knowing full well, Luguta, I fulfilled everything that was in my head. I want all the good stuff to come out. Even if the things don't work out, at the end of the day, I tried. You have said, Bana, you have tried to be you. It's because you're still living in your own head. You care more about what other people think of you than what you care about yourself. Hence why you are still ruled by this fear of, if I chase what I want, what will other people say? Let them say whatever they want to say. Do what you're supposed to do. Because you're going to thank yourself later when you're in a better position. So this is an appeal, most importantly, to us young men. We need to see value in ourselves. We need to rethink how the masculine energy is supposed to operate, because I don't like how a majority of men are out here. We are very petty, and most importantly, we expect women to teach us how to be men, and I think that's a crime against humanity. There's a lot of unresolved emotional stances that the man needs to deal with, but he can't take responsibility on the feminine energy. That responsibility should be on him, so that he doesn't have deconstructive ways of venting to the opposite sex, because these women are going to bear us hairs. These women are going to keep our homes intact. And many of us as men, we don't want to admit that homes today are still intact because of them. They haven't given up the cause. So this is an appeal for me to us as young men, to appeal to our masculine sense, to say, but sometimes it doesn't need, we need to also entertain the feminine. We need to learn about our own emotions, because once we do, it will make it easy for us to also learn about the emotions of the opposite sex, how to treat them. It's not always about you, bruh. It's literally not always about you and your boys. But this is about us trying to deconstruct minds, man. I've understood we have been fed into that are not serving us. And it's our responsibility as young men to rethink how we are seeing things. We can see how messed up they are, but are we going to continue in the slumlight? That is the question that you need to ask yourself. Because this nation will be much better if, as us men, could treat our women better, so that they don't have to compensate and be masculine in the workplace. We're already enough men. Men just need to know their place. The one thing that I do admire about female relationship is a lot of authenticity. We as men, there's something we can learn about friendship and building sustainable relationships from the opposite sex. But because we are stuck up in our own head and we are being fed by the social media on how life is supposed to be and so on, and now we are so hell-bent into working into these plans. What times are we living under now? And a lot of us as young people, especially young black females, are being suppressed by our parents because they're raising us from a point of fear. That doesn't empower us, but instead it depletes our of us surviving in this outside world, this world won't feel sorry for you. They ain't lying when they say this is a concrete jungle. But whose responsibility is to make this work? It's totally up to you. So I would never place myself, I would never my future children and my current child, in a position that I was placed by my parents. I know they did all their best. Now it's totally up to me to pick up from where they left off. It is up to me to continue the legacy. And where they made a mistake, I will rectify. Where they were not good, I'll be trying my utmost best to be good. And whatever doesn't grow me, doesn't own me. On the last note, African New Year is on the 23rd of September. This is a very important week for us Africans. And I know this information to some people is gonna be new. But please take it with a grain of salt, because cognitive dissonance is expected when new information comes into light. Before we can liberate ourselves, we need to liberate ourselves through our own history and not the history being told by the colonizer. The moment we stop celebrating their holidays and we stop upholding Roman ways is the moment we will get liberated. Let's search how our ancestors lived without the colonizers. We were connected to nature. We were connected to all these kind of things. And with us adopting Western ways, we abandoned that. And it's up to us as the youth, this information age, to seek that out so that future generations that will come will be in a much better position. Education is supposed to empower you, not just empower you, but also gives you ability to empower others. The education that exists doesn't do that. But we can't fault it. It's made that way. So it's totally up to us to create curriculums that are going to empower our kids, that are going to make them proud of their blackness. It's up to us to bring back black consciousness into everything that we do. It takes a village to raise a child. Each and every person that you see on the street, there is something that that person can teach you. Namaste.
Manene na manene gazi siyabulela. I get that through the Almighty's grace, Sivugile, I greet this holy name in the holy name of Shiva. This holy day, in the holy name of Shiva. Siyabulela baskwazide yet again. Ubaskwazi uventurisha into this outmost version that we can be. As Vugile, through His Almighty's grace, kuninzi oku that we had faced. You win some, you lose some. God, that should not stop you from persevering as a person. So if you don't start anything, you do anything. The reason why I'm deceased from this point of view is because I see a lack of patience that's in our people. I see a lack of patience for anything that is worthwhile. It's because our focus is how that other person is supposed to be instead of being on ourselves. I think I've learned to not to attach myself to any phase in my life and realize I am the victor of everything that happens in my life. I wouldn't be in this position if I don't hold myself accountable. So the dreams that I want are the ones that I'm willing to work hard for, as I'm doing nango, making sure I am doing my utmost best to lay that brick per day. But as young people, we are going through, man. There's a lot of trauma that we have inherited from Abazal Betu, and I'd love Motivational Maniac to be a platform where we can discuss these things and how they affect us as young people, and how Nati we are planning on uplifting ourselves, man, because there's this sea of toxicity that is out there, and it's very hard for other young people to find themselves reasoning with what's in front of them, because we have this and this narrative that is being pushed out there. At a certain age, at a certain time period in your lifetime, at this place, but if you are not at that place, then you feel unfulfilled. The reason why I had to go back and rethink the person that I was because I saw what I was doing at that time being, instead of making my life much longer, it shortened it. It's to a point where as a person you can't even look yourself in the mirror and hold yourself accountable due to the many lies that you as a person have been telling yourself. You don't even want to avail yourself to the fact that your lies that you have been perpetuating on yourself and all the lies that others have been perpetuating on you have taken you nowhere. It's great accountability, and I like to shout out Sungula Sitetyana, who's my cameraman. I'd like to shout you out for the fact that you take it upon yourself to say enough is enough, bro. I see worth in myself, and if I'm around people who don't see that anymore, because sitityaniswa i-age, sitityaniswa indawo esihlala kuyo, but we fail ukuthi si observe ukuthi as much as we all grew up together, asibona lisolunye. This is clear evident ukuthi we are living in the same area, but isn't asiziboni the same way. We are so hell-bent on being consumers that we forget ukuthi we can be producers of our own. So through social media and also through your work, Ngula, you have shown me the importance of me putting out my propaganda there as I'm doing Nangoku. And I also encourage you to do the same. Be an advocate of your work, because no one knows your work better than you. No one is supposed to know your work better than you. And even when things go bad, you are going to hold yourself accountable. So thank you for that. And thank you for bringing your best version of yourself. Noba upi. You make sure Guti, you are bringing your best version. And it's not easy, man. We're young people. We are under a whole lot of pressure. Askalpinas, or even the conversations about things that our parents withheld from us. That if it born, they gave us the benefit of the doubt by giving us enough information. Because the reason why we're so messed up, most of us at a young age, is because we are not given information. And as young as we are siyacingela ubana lendo akufunekanga yazi because this thing will damage this child's life. But instead, that would have done a whole lot of good for Lamdana. So when you withhold information that has to do with a person's future, that really impacts their future in longevity. And I think Gogo, the breed of young people that are in the mix, are so talented, they are so equipped, but they're also crying for guidance. They are crying for mentorship. And our parents are not providing that. Instead, they are more hell-bent in usfaka in the existing system, thinking that if we are products of that system, then we are going to be successful. I had to have this conversation kakulu with my own mother, may her soul rest in peace. Uguti, this is my life. This is me that is going through zonke, and I need you as the parent to guide me, so that this out when I am in a place where I don't have enough information, I shouldn't hesitate and go to the outside. I should come to my own parent, because I have that mindset. Ugutumzalwam is going to give me information for the good of my success. So there are certain informations that are being withheld from us, thinking that the information is going to do us good. That's why singazukwazi accept our losses, because we are not taught that at home. We have to figure it out ourselves. We have to understand that other people are not going to love us the way we love them. We can't expect everyone to have the same kindness and the same good heart as we have. That's highly impossible. The world would be boring if everyone was the same. So when you are constantly perpetuated by their opinions, you're going to always play into their hands, because you care more about what they think about you more than what you think about you. Here I am, tending to my own garden. There are people who do not know nothing about your journey. They judge from afar because it's easy when you're looking from the outside in. How about you get yourself into the ring, into the battle royale, and be in the thick of things? Because one thing that all people in common that are doing nothing, they are critics, they have most to say, and they know everything is going to fail. They know. And I think that is their dismay. That is the pothole that they've put in their entire life. And their entire philosophy and mindset is built on that. They constantly need to be reaffirmed by the outside. Stop seeking external validation.
Seek the validation internally. Maybe you are seeking that validation from the wrong people, and you haven't learned to seek that validation from yourself. So I always ask someone, when you decide to be in a relationship, who's coming into the relationship? You might find you have trust issues from previous relationships, or maybe you are living in an oppressed home where you can't even express your emotions, where you can't even ask because you want to understand. You coming with a mindset of wanting to understand. But when you are constantly oppressed and this information is omitted from you, you're obviously going to find means to seek it from the outside. And the outside might give you the wrong things, and you might end up in a position in which you didn't even see yourself being in. So black child, be patient with yourself. I'm only 26, man. And I'm not going to put myself in any kind of pressure. And I always want to keep people who are always going to keep me open-minded, always going to keep me in that motion where I need to learn. Because you become better when you teach. We all are learning at something. Sometimes we could be learning the wrong stuff. Hence why that is always the view set that we are perpetuating. By fault as well. Because you are the person who decides to tune into the negativity. The same way you are choosing to tune into this live. The same way that you are choosing, no matter who spend 30 seconds to listen to these videos, you are tuning in. A part of you is saying, hey, there's something that you can get from this. But because you are still ruled by your ego, you're still ruled by things that are no longer doing you benefit, then you don't want to compromise and meet yourself halfway. And I think it's very hard for many of us to come into the idea that we only get to love when we are vulnerable. Not when you are putting on that handbrake. Not when you love half-heartedly. So the next relationship, I'm going to ask you to bring your best version. It doesn't matter whether the other person can see that. The main thing is that when you gave your all, so that you don't live with resentment, you don't live with unfulfilled feelings, because you played it safe. No, I was done this way. Now I must do the next person the same kind of way. The only thing you are creating is a ripple effect of hurt people. And next thing, this entire generation of young people are hurt. And they think that is the narrative of what love is. We can't be 20, 21, 22, 23 and be worried about why people are leaving us. If you want to leave, leave, bruh. I ain't scared of losing you. The only thing I'm scared of losing is myself. So have you even considered or even placed yourself in that mental space? No, man. This person's value. Because I still, to this day, saying I forgive all those who didn't see greatness in me. Because it wasn't their fault at all. It was my fault. I had to see greatness in me. And see as Carter all the time, thinking that, oh, the next relationship, I love myself more. No. You're going to love yourself. You decide to do that. And when you do, you're going to bring your best version, good relationships. Even if they don't work out. You're like, I did my best. Yeah, but I did my best. So be at bed and also be patient. You're young. You still have a life you have to figure out. There are things that you do not know even about yourself. But when you have your life centered around how your love life is messed up, then the other faculties of your life obviously are going to be sideways. Because everything that you do is centered around your love relationship. When are you going to take care of your family? When are you going to take care of yourself? When are you going to give yourself opportunity to learn new things? That doesn't happen when your life is all surrounded by misery, chaos. How can you make sound decisions all the time you are chaotic? That doesn't happen, man. So I think we need to spend time more with ourselves. We need to listen to those deconstructive voices in the chatter in our head. Yeah, boy, and try to reason with it, because it's trying to tell us something. But let's try to listen to what it's trying to show to us about ourselves, because you could find that people are cheating on you because you are not placing self-worth on yourself. You could find people are being dishonest to you because You're not honest with yourself. Maybe you're not having any sort of a stance towards this is the value that I value in relationships, and if you break this, then it's bye. You never get a piece of this from me ever again. But when you refuse to ask those questions, obviously people are gonna use you. They're gonna walk all over you because they see you don't place any self-worth in yourself. So think twice about anything, and let's not let our love for a person rule us so much that that this person is damaging our sense of life, this person is damaging our sense of self. Because relationships are supposed to people grow together. We are not supposed to be validating one another, and we need to be in a place where we need to grow one another, man. Not lendo yophathelana imithwalo, man. Where is that going to take us? Where is that going to take us? Instead, it's going to be easy to sit drop a relationship when things are not going our way, because we have not learned to stay. When things are not nice, stay, baba. Especially if you are willing to go tooth and nail for them. But it's through trial and error, man. But you can't be young and thinking, your soulmate now and zonkes. No, you know nothing about yourself. You're not building anything. When's the nicks? And your life is centered around having fun, having this partner, the next fashion trend, and zonkes that are meaningless when we're young. And then when we get to 40, all we have is a life full of regrets. Because when we were young, we refused to suffer through those times. And I am suffering for my own success. While others are having fun, I am suffering my own success. And I also should encourage you to do the same. Nobody's going to remind you, hey, what are you doing being that towards known? I used to convince people that I'm the shit. Like, no, you don't need to convince yourself. Be better than you. I'm competing with me. I just need to be better than I was 12 months ago. So when it comes in the African New Year on the 23rd of September, then we are celebrating a year full of prosperous nature. Because harvesting is only reserved for those who are planting. Are you planting, Gwen? What seeds are you putting into your fertile soil? Are you reaping the rewards of that? Are you attentive? Work hard on your dream more than you work hard on your job. This is not a means of survival. But the one thing that I love, wherever I go, I bring a piece of me. I'm not going to be apologetic about who I am. And we must get into this. Nobody is meant to like us except us. You don't like me? You like me? That doesn't matter. But you're going to respect what I do. You're going to remember this person that's in front of you. Because I won't die copycat. Many of us, we die copycats. Because we want to live like other people. And we forget our life is unique. Your life is different, man. I do understand you being inspired by that person, but your life is different. It's unique. And when you get emotional about how people are judging you, it means you have not put bed certain ideas about who you are, Ngoku. And that doesn't happen if you don't hold yourself accountable. Accountability, Sbali. Let this day be another day that you execute, guy. With all that you know, it's no time to doubt, manje. You need to execute. Execute on your dreams. So it's either we suffer the pain of our success or the pain of our failures.